Now that you know the basic idea of lists and what a reference is, we are ready to learn a bit more about lists. One thing that you will frequently want to do with lists is iterate over them. That is, write a loop where you access every element of the list. Here we have the list 1, 2, 3, and this is a very common construct in Python, for x in list. Of course, you can use any variable name instead of x, and the expression after in can be any expression that evaluates to a list or other iterable type, such as a range. This code just prints each item in the list, but let's see how it does so. We begin execution at the start of the code with an empty frame. The first line makes the list 1, 2, 3 in the heap and points list at it. Next, we need to make a box for the iteration variable x, so we add that to the frame. Now we need to evaluate the expression for what to iterate over. In this case, it is just list, so we will iterate over each element in the list that list points at. We start with x being 1 and go into the body of the loop. The next statement is a print statement, so we print the value of x, which is 1. Now we are at the end of a loop, so we go back to the top. Now we update x to be the next element in the list, which is 2. Again, we go into the loop, print x, and go back to the top. We update x to be the next item in the list, which is 3, go into the loop, print x, and go back to the top. Now we have iterated through the entire list, so we exit the for loop, going past its body. As with any other loops, if there were more code here, we would continue to execute it. We will just briefly note that x remains in scope and continues to reference the last item in the sequence you iterated over, in case that is useful to you. Now that you have seen list iteration, take a moment to practice it yourself on this somewhat tricky code. Don't forget what you learned about references, and note that each element of list is itself a list. Now let us take a moment to look at how this code behaves. As we said, this code is somewhat tricky. Here is the picture you should have after the first 4 statements. We have made 4 lists in the heap. The first 3 are pointed out by A, B, and C. The fourth one has references to each of those lists. Now let us walk through this code. First, we make x be the first element of list. That first element is an arrow pointing at the list 1, 2 in the heap. Now we append 42 to x, adding it to the end of the list. We now reach the pass statement that does nothing. We just like to put it at the end of loops as a convention to indicate the end of the loop. Now we return to the top of the loop and update x to the next element of list. So now x points at list 3 in the heap. We go inside the loop body, append 42 to the list that x references, go to the end of the loop, and back to the top where we update x to now be the next element. We go inside the loop again, append 42, finish our loop, and go back to the top, updating x to be the last element of the list. We once again go inside the loop, append 42 to x, finish our loop, go back to the top, but this time there are no more elements, so we exit the loop and print the list. Notice that we appended to the A list twice because our list of lists had 2 references to it. Being aware of this kind of behavior can help you avoid and fix a variety of otherwise strange bugs in code with lists.